11 years on, what still matters and what has changed in real estate. I'm Dion Bessa and this is Beyond the Deal. Joining me now is Samantha McLean of Elite Agent, who has spent 11 years interviewing the best and the most vocal operators in Australian real estate. Few people have had a broader, less ego-driven view of how the industry has evolved through market cycles, COVID, tech disruption and now AI. Samantha, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Dion. Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure. 11 years since you started Elite Agent, interviewing some of the best and brightest in the real estate industry. Where do you see the most changes for the consumer, the buyers and sellers out there who are watching us today? Where have you seen the most changes in the industry?
I think the big things that have changed in the real estate industry are technology and, as a result, transparency. So there has never been a more transparent time that the consumer sees prices, values, the backstory behind the property, about the agent, things like that. There's never been so much information out there.
Which makes it much easier for buyers and sellers to actually transact. It would be much easier today, I would imagine, to select an agent with all the information out there about agents. And of course, for the buyers who are out there buying as well, there's a lot more information around price. Looking back 11 years, are there elements of the transaction that haven't changed?
I think what hasn't changed is that I think real estate, the transaction between a consumer and the agent is still largely based on trust, and I think the agent's knowledge. I think consumers are still choosing to use an agent with the most important transaction that they will undertake, roughly,
Yes.
Because an agent has the ability to negotiate for them.
So let's just talk to that, because there's a lot of discussions today around underquoting, pricing, advertising, disclosing information to vendors and to buyers. Where do you see some of the best agents in the industry? How have they changed their behaviours to make sure that they're building that trust with the consumer, the buyers and the sellers?
Yeah, I think in terms of its leadership that I see, because the transparency has led to a bit of a phenomenon where there is almost an overwhelm of information. You mentioned pricing, and they might look on realestate.com one day and they see one price, and then they might do a web search and see another price, or they might see a different price on CoreLogic. Who is right? And I think a good real estate agent will actually show leadership and help navigate the consumer through that.
Absolutely. So there's so many different ways in which you can source a valuation today. You can go onto realestate.com and it's got an AI assisted value there. You can go onto ChatGPT or various other AI platforms and get it to spit out a value with some comparable sales. Do you see AI changing the way people price their properties and search for properties?
Definitely, and I think it's a little bit of a double-edged sword actually, because AI is not perfect. AI is very good and has come a long way in 3 years. But if you're searching for the price of your property on AI, or you're searching for the price of comparables, anything could come up. The AI could hallucinate, and it will tell you the wrong information with the confidence of a 4-year-old in a Batman suit. So you've really got to look out for that. And for the consumer, the first price that you see is often the one you'll cling to, particularly if it's a good one. And so I think there again, that's where a good agent can help navigate you through the overwhelm and all the different options that are out there.
So context. So what I'm hearing is that AI can assist people in valuing their property, but really we still need the real estate agent to be able to provide some context around those values. What are the comparable sales? What's going on in the market at the moment? What government policy is changing the market, or what the feeling out there might be? How would you recommend somebody who's looking to sell their property today, how would you recommend them select an agent?
I know you're expecting me to say ask the AI, and I mean that's not a bad start. Look, if
people are doing that these days.
If you really don't know, go and have a look at what the AI is saying. Make sure you hit the deep research button and have a look. But I think you've got to, when you're interviewing agents, that is, I think you've got to listen for some cues in the conversation. So a good agent will ask you more questions than they will talk. And I think you've also got to be aware of the agent that tells you what you want to hear.
Yes.
Like, because I think, again, going back to that leadership angle, you want someone that's going to help lead you through the transaction. I mean, you both want to cross the finish line together, and it may be easy and it may be a swift run through, or it can be difficult and there may be pieces of you both that cross the finish line. But I do think that that a good agent, you know, is going to always tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And I have had an agent give me the not truth and fallen for it, and you know, and I wouldn't recommend that. So if someone's telling you the highest price, I would say dig deeper.
Why?
Do a bit, yeah.
Where
why?
are you getting that opinion
from? Are they
from?
just doing it to win the listing?
Yeah. And are you seeing that in the industry? I mean, you interview and train thousands of agents all over Australia. Are you seeing agencies now starting to assist their staff in providing context information so that they can actually consult with their clients rather than being scripted all the time with, you know, easy ways to entice people to sign with you?
I think this is where AI can really help, because it can give the agent some good background in helping the consumer, and also providing a better level of service. Like, you can research the property, you can find the hidden money in the property, you can find the hidden developments, you know, that can happen with AI. AI allows you to do
the nuances.
that. Yeah, and the good agents will do that. Some of the agents who are thinking, oh, I don't need AI, they're probably going to miss out, and I feel sad for their vendors because they're probably leaving money on the table.
So you're still recommending people interview a number of agents?
Yeah.
So there's been a little bit of talk about realestate.com in the papers recently, how AI might change or have an impact on their share price. Do you see AI having an impact on these platforms and how people search for property?
I definitely think that AI will have an impact on the way people search for property, because we see consumers now are searching for who's the best agent, and like, I want to find a 2-bedroom property like this, maybe in a different suburb. But I think also the portals are investing heavily in AI to make that experience better for the consumer. So let's wait and see what they come up with.
And how are you seeing real estate agents use AI across the country?
Some of them are using it really well, and some of them are just using it as a faster typewriter. And like, fortunately or unfortunately with technology, I think technology amplifies who you are. So if you're a great agent and a great human that gets along well with people and really has the customer at heart, AI is going to amplify that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the converse is true as well. Like, so if you're just using AI to, you know, help you respond to emails and things like that, I don't think AI is going to benefit you or the consumer that much.
So what I'm hearing is that artificial intelligence and technology is definitely assisting the way people buy, sell, and even how real estate agents are servicing their clients. But really, property is still a people's industry. It's still a people's game. It still requires building rapport and relationships and having market knowledge. If you were a seller today, given the thousands of agents you interview and train every single year, what advice would you give to somebody who's looking for an agent today to sell with?
I would be looking for the agent that can tell me something I can't find out myself. For example, the block of units down there in Bay Street only get the sun on the western side in the afternoon. I want to know all the things that the AI and the research that I do can't tell me, because, like, going right back to the beginning, there's more transparency out there now than ever before, and as a result of that, my agent is going to have to surprise me and lead me with knowledge and skills that I don't have and that I can't find readily online.
And if you were a buyer today, given all the information that you've now got, all the controversy around pricing and underquoting, what would you tell buyers to be careful of today when buying a property?
I would say to buyers, you know, you've got the tools as well to do more research than you've ever been able to do. And so use those tools, ask questions, and, you know, and don't be afraid of that.
A little bit of a controversial question here.
Uh-oh.
I hope you feel comfortable answering it. There's been a lot of talk about underquoting in the papers. There's obviously new government bodies now spending enormous amounts of money on making sure that agencies are compliant. There's also a lot of talk about legislative changes coming into, especially Victoria, in the second half of this year. Where do you see the way in which we price property and market property changing as we move into a more compliant style of advertising?
Well, I hope that things don't change much, because if they change a lot, it means that as an industry we really got it wrong. But, you know, like, I think you've got to look at the reasons that people might be tempted to underquote. And I think it's like, real estate's a funny industry. Like, I think if an agent lists a property, then the tendency would be, I need to market this property to as wide an audience as I possibly can.
Yep.
And then the marketing ends up being kind of generic. And I think that that doesn't do anyone a disservice. Like, with my marketing hat on, that does the property and the vendor a disservice. And with my marketing hat on, I think that if we can get better at marketing, then the price is not the attracting factor. The attracting factor are the features of the property being matched with a buyer that is perfect for that property.
Yes.
So I think we need to get more personal with our marketing and be able to attract the right people for a particular property, priced correctly.
Yes.
And that'll keep everyone happy.
And do you think artificial intelligence is going to have an impact on how agents price property into the future?
Definitely, but, you know, like, again, I think you cannot leave it all to AI. I think that, you know, the agents and the buyers sellers have access to all the same information, and, you know, the agent has experience of how many buyers or sellers missed out, which is often information that is, you know, is missing in the straight comparables. So who knows, the property down the road that nobody fell in love with, the property 2 doors down might go for a whole lot more because more people missed out.
So what I'm hearing is that real estate agents aren't going to become extinct. Buyers need to do their research, sellers need to do their research, pick the agent that you feel can provide the most valuable information.
Yeah, I don't think
making a decision.
Yeah, I don't think agents are going to become extinct, because we've seen different technology platforms in terms of buying and selling come and go. You look at Redfin, you look at, in the US, Purple Bricks, people like that, and the consumer continues to go back to the real estate agent because it's important to them. It's a high value
transaction.
High value transaction, yeah.
Sam, thank you very much for joining me today. This program has been brought to you by Bessa & Co Estate Agents. This is Ticker. We'll be right back.